Hello, it's Rose, and I am back with some new gadgets that I got to add to my cooking arsenal. I went online to a restaurant supply, chef supply store because I was looking for a mold for truffles, something that would make it a little bit easier to make them than hand dipping. And I found this nice three-piece magnetic mold. And I just found out about these not too long ago, and I've been researching them. But basically, there are three pieces to this candy mold, and these things don't come with instructions, by the way. So first, you put these two together, I believe, and then fill the holes with chocolate. And of course, you're gonna dump it out with tempered chocolate and dump it out, and that's gonna make your shell for your truffle. And then once your shell hardens, I mean, you have to know about candy making, but once your shell is hardened sufficiently, then you would take your filling and pipe it into these little holes. And then once that has set sufficiently, you would then, I believe, put this third piece on top. And this third piece would allow you to cap the end off with chocolate, so to fully enrobe your filling. And so these are nice because obviously you don't have to deal with the hand dipping and chocolate all on your hands and forming it in your hands. But also with these, you can use soft fillings. So that's a different kind of truffle versus just a firm ganache. You could use like a caramel or something that's more runny, a fondant type filling. So that is so cool. I'm looking forward to at some point when I get to that section in pastry school of candy making, I will use that. But while I was looking for that, I found these other two molds. There were a couple of other styles too, but I just got two. And these are Italian molds, and I am so excited about these. These are called travel cake molds, and I didn't even know what a travel cake was until I saw these molds. But apparently, it's a French thing, and it is a cake that's made to travel, meaning that you can pack it up and take it wherever with you to a potluck or whatever. We might call them pound cakes sometimes or something like that, but they call them travel cakes. Uh, but the neat thing about these molds is that, as you can see, they're different shapes. This is a round one, and this one is a rectangle. But they have this tube that runs through the center, which is the cool part, not just the shape. But this tube, I'm not going to pull it out because it's noisy, but this tube comes out and you bake the cake. I mean, you grease it if you want to put parchment, and then you put the filling in, and then you're going to bake the cake in here. And what that does is create a hollow space in the middle of the cake. So then you can go back later and fill the hollow space with a filling, whether it be a ganache or caramel or whatever your heart desires. You can fill that cake. This one does the same thing, except for it's a rectangle. This has a lid, and my understanding, because I have yet to make a travel cake, but my understanding is the lid is put on if you want something that's dense and compacted. So if you were making like a true, I guess, pound cake type cake, you would put that on to keep it from rising too much, and it would be a perfect rectangle, flat on all sides. But if you're doing something lighter, like a sponge or whatever, you probably would leave that off. And then you can always trim the top if it rises up too much for you. But again, it has this removable tube that once the cake is baked, you take out and you can fill it. And then, of course, you would decorate the outside in some kind of fancy way. So when I did my research on these, I found out that this is the nouveau deal in cakes with pastry chefs. So that's kind of I guess it's kind of a fad over the last couple of years, these travel cakes. And then, they fancy them up and put all kinds of decorations on them and pipe stuff and dip them and whatever else. Anywho, those are my three new acquisitions to my cooking arsenal. So at some point down the road, you will see me post, I am sure, a video and pictures of travel cakes. That's all. Bye bye.